Have you ever wondered what it's like to drive an exotic SUV? Well, today I've got the keys for the brand new 2025 Maserati Grecale Folgore. Wait for it. That means lightning, because this is their first full EV SUV. And today what we want to do is see, what do you even get for your money? Is it actually any good? And is it worth it? So let's go. All right, and we're off. And the first thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out to Maserati of London, because they are a great supporter of the show, hence this vehicle. They're giving us the review today. And most importantly, even though they love their Maseratis and Alfa Romeo, of course, they are just genuinely car people, from management, sales folks, all the folks in the shop. They really are car people. Most importantly, even at a fancy place like that, they have excellent customer service. So check out their social media, look at all the testimonials. It's unbelievable, and their information is in the description. So what do you get for your money? Well, the Grecale, it came out 2 or 3 years ago in petrol form, and then this year is the first year of the full EV. Now, the base model, 4-cylinder, high output, I mean, it's going to be amazing. You're going to get all kinds of stuff for that, and it's a fast 4-cylinder for sure on that one. Now, you're going to, as I said, get a fully capable vehicle for around $90,000 Canadian, plus fees and taxes, and then you're going to get a high output V6 in the Trofeo, which is their super sporty, amazing one. We got to do a GranTurismo Trofeo, which was amazing. So yeah, so definitely it's the fast one. You're looking at about $135,000 MSRP Canadian, plus fees and taxes, and it's about the same base price for the Folgore here, or the EV. Now this is more of a GT. It's still, as you'll see, is going to be really capable performance-wise, but this is a little bit more of a GT, or that's kind of a luxury meet sports car type feel, and of course EV. So you kind of pick your poison there. Now, one of the things I was pretty surprised on actually was, I would just assume that if you're spending this much money, everything would come included, because I just want to tell everybody that I got everything in the kitchen sink for my money. But I guess that's not the way it works. Like, for instance, you don't get heads-up display. That's something that you got to add on extra. And wireless charging. I mean, Kias have wireless charging. I found that one a little shocking. And of course, you don't get the power tailgate unless you add it on. And you don't even get the tridents here that are look amazing and embroidered. Even my Volkswagen has that free of charge. So I found that a little surprising. And of course, you know, I guess it makes sense with the climate package, because a lot of these vehicles are going to be probably sold in California and things like that, where the temperatures are pretty stable and whatnot. But I found that, again, that you didn't get all the safety features. You don't get the 360 camera or the full safety suite, as far as like your active safety technology and things like that. So I found that a little surprising. But on the same note, when I started pricing out the competition, really all the other ones, BMW and Porsche, do the exact same thing. So really the Maserati's not any different there. So what do you get though, as far as your money goes when it comes to practical things, because this is still an SUV, right? Well, I tell you, you get cup holders all over the place, just like you think, that are actually usable, and then you get a lot of storage as well. Like, you don't have any under storage here like you do in some SUVs, but I think that's probably because this is built on the gas platform, and that had a transmission in it, in drive line things and stuff like that. So, but nonetheless, yeah, you got tons of storage in here, and the people in the back actually have a fair amount of room, because it's got a 114-inch wheelbase, which is pretty good. That's distance in between the wheels, and that gives you a lot of room for your occupants. So back there, even though it's a sporty coupe type look, you do get a fair amount of headroom back there. As you can see, it is pretty comfortable. The seats are nice. They don't cheap out, obviously, back there. You've got USB and USB-C hookups back there. You've got its own air conditioning and temperatures and whatnot, so you can breathe and have some temperatures back there. So it's really nice as well. Now, when you're looking at the trunk, same thing. You got to use this thing, and I was pleasantly surprised. There's a fair amount of trunk space. It is a little reduced because of the fact that this is an EV, but still, there is a fair amount. 60-40 split, definitely usable. So this here is what they call a compact SUV. So what that means is that's about the same size as like a Honda CR-V, BMW X3, if you're familiar with those kind of vehicles. So it's bigger than the plump little hatchbacks or crossovers or whatever they call those. I don't really understand those vehicles. This is kind of a nice size, because it's still small and sporty enough that's good to get around the city and whatnot, and maneuverable, but you're at that spot to where you actually have some usable space and some decent ride height up there. Now, how does it stack up against its competition? Well, this is a super saturated market in the compact SUV or SUVs in general, and this one's the luxury. So there's lots and lots. Now when it comes to EV though, really I kind of narrowed it down to two other ones, kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. So I'm looking at the Porsche Macan 4S because it's similarly equipped to this here, and probably about $10,000–$15,000 less with a similar equipment. So the Porsche is going to be a little bit cheaper. Now Porsche, being German, you know, and I own a German car, they're a little sterile, not really exciting, more geared towards performance than luxury, but still really, really nice, of course. And then I also looked at the Tesla Model X, partly because of those cool doors, and also because, again, very similar price to the Porsche when similarly equipped, and they kind of take a different direction with the Tesla. So what I mean by that is, for the similar money, what you're looking there is they really concentrate on the actual EV stuff. So what I mean by that is Tesla is a bit of an innovator when it comes to EV, obviously, and they concentrate heavy in their marketing and their production, everything else like that, on how far it will go range, how quick it can charge up, the charging networks, you know, where you can plug it in, things like that. And as far as their technology goes, what they really concentrate on is the entertainment value of it. Like you can watch movies and play games, make noises, and embarrass your guests and things like that. Where obviously it's a little bit different here. And of course, I didn't price it in because it wouldn't be apples for apples, but for about $11,000 Canadian, you can add on the Tesla their self-driving. Now, they're a bit of an anomaly with that. Not everybody's caught up with that type of technology, but that's another key focus of the Tesla. Now, here with the Maserati, of course, being Maserati, the Italian, yeah, it's all about being really, really attractive and really, you know, the experience of that brand and the exoticness of it. So that's what they really concentrate on, and of course, the ride quality, because at this price point, you're going to want something that's very dynamic, something that really rides nice, hence that GT, but also can perform as well. And what they concentrate on with their technology on these screens is more of your connectivity, because nowadays people are driving for different reasons, of course, and it's less about engagement and more about keeping connected. A lot of people are business people and things like that. So now you can actually get a wearable key as an option. So if you don't feel like carrying your key around in your pocket, things like that, you can do that. You can get your smartwatch and obviously your smartphone to have apps, and you can do certain things, like you can actually send it directions and it can go into the navigation. You can turn it on and off, get the battery prepared, temperatures, all different kinds of things. So it's pretty cool that way. It even hooks in if you have Alexa and Google, and you can do a lot of that functionality there as well. As far as the actual screens go too, they're actually really good, but we'll talk about those in a minute. So the main thing is, what I want to know is, when you're spending this kind of money, because everyone pretty much has the same technology and everything else, is what is it actually like? So let's do that now. All right, so what is this thing actually like? Because if I was a rich person, actually I wouldn't make a good rich person, because I don't really understand why they eat things that I'd probably only eat if I was desperate, like fish eggs, frog legs, and snails. Anyway, I eat McDonald's, so what are you going to say? But in all seriousness, you know, if I was rich and I was paying this much money, I would hope that, yes, I know that similar technology is going to be in the Kia in the neighborhood far from my gated community, but I would also hope that everything in here would be way better than that Kia type of experience. So, you know, for instance, like I would hope that it would look way better inside and out, have way better materials, way more engaging and better touch points, quieter, more comfortable. And then of course on the sporty end of it, I'd hope that it would perform really, really well and kind of be two animals, be nice, compliant when I want it to be, but still be really, really fun and sporty on the back road. And so that's what we want to look at. So essentially, you know, obviously when it comes to looks and styling, that's going to be subjective. But me personally, I'm not an SUV person. If you follow this show, you would know that. But I have to say, in all honesty, that this is really, really good looking. Because like I said, I kind of like the proportions and the size of the compact SUVs compared to the subcompact or the big giant ones. And this one has a very cool, elegant, yet sporty, James Bondy type look. Very coupe-like. I really, really like it. And I also am not a big EV person, especially the Tesla bubble-looking type futuristic cars. Whereas this here, like a lot of the manufacturers, are trying to keep a conventional look and just giving you hints of the future. So on this one here, you've got that great conventional Grecale look and Maserati look, but on the front, a little bit different of a grille to give you an idea that this is an EV vehicle, absolutely. And also the wheels, like this one has, looks really sharp. And then those little gills on the side, which I love, actually light up. up in blue. Have little blue lights on this one. Now, again, on the inside where you spend most of your time, this thing is absolutely everything that I hoped it would be. It even has like fancy Ferrari, Maserati, Lamborghini type velvety stuff on here, the big giant pillars, and then really cool looking shapes in here, and everything kind of flows together. Like there's a lot of thought, and it's not boring, but it's not too much. It's not I don't know, it's not overwhelming. It's just everything fits together in here. And then the materials are unbelievable. It probably doesn't come across on camera, but like the leathers here are so gorgeous, and the stitching, the colors they chose, just how soft they are. And then because this is electric, they want sustainable, cool materials. You got like these recycled fishnet seats, which look really, really good and actually feel really good as well as far as the materials go. And you got, I don't know if it's real, but you got aluminum looking stuff here on the speaker cages. Yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then these screens, both in the digital cockpit here and the infotainment, are absolutely stunning. I love the angles of them. So as I said, I would hope that all of this stuff would be way better than the Kia type experience. Now, any of these vehicles are never going to be your cell phone. I haven't actually driven a Tesla, but everyone says that their screens are closer to a cell phone as far as how, you know, fast and everything else they are. But these are actually stunning. They look really good, and they've got everything that you would need in a modern car, and it all works really, really well. One of the things that I really like is all the little noises they make. It's very satisfying, and everything is really, really quick to the touch. And like I said, this is a really interesting package because this technology allows you to do certain things that I haven't seen that much in some of those other vehicles that we're talking about at lower price points. So yeah, all that feels really good. And what about just like comfortable? Like, I would expect that if you're driving a car this expensive in a Maserati, you would expect it to be really quiet. Now it's an EV, so EVs are going to be quiet because there's no gasoline engine rumbling behind you. But on the same note, you know, this has like fancy stuff on the glass to make it quieter. Obviously tons of sound deadening in here and a lot of thought, so it's really, really extra quiet, like way more quiet than most vehicles. Obviously you can hear road noise and stuff like that, but less road noise than most cars. Now these seats are interesting because of this material. I personally would prefer, not that I'm not about, you know, helping the environment, but you know, the actual leather I think would look a little nicer and feel better. But these are actually really, really cool and do look super high end, and they're firm yet not like uncomfortable firm. I feel like if I was a highway cruiser and this is what I use this thing for, these seats will be fine. There's tons of adjustment. You even got the fancy, not that I got long legs, but you got these thigh bolster things. No massage I know of. Heated and ventilated, as I said, really, really, really nice. And then everything else, like I said, just really works well in here. It really does seem well put together. Just, yeah, it does seem really, really good that way. But what about like performance? Because that's one of the other animals. So what I want to do is I'm going to put this thing in, which I really, really think cool. It's like almost like the MC20 and stuff, where you got this really sporty steering wheel. Here's your start stop, or on the electric one, that's your power button. And then over here you got your drive mode. So we're going to put it in, we've got off-road, max range, GT, and sport. So we want to put it in sport, and that's going to tighten everything up. So you're going to get quicker response on your throttle. The actual aero, the car, I believe, lowers a little bit because it's on air suspension, so you have kind of like a truck or things like that. The car can go up and down, yet still have that compliance and also be firm when you want it to be firm. So that's like one of the things here. Like, it really does. Like, if you look here, like, this is unbelievable. Like, I have a Golf R, which is a hatchback that's Volkswagen's premier halo sports car meets everyday little baby luxury car. And obviously this is a little bit higher up in electric, so they're very heavy. It's about 5,500 pounds, where a car like mine that's a little bit smaller and lighter in gas, you're probably looking around the 3,000 pound mark, just to give you an idea. But on an electric vehicle, a lot of that weight sits a little bit lower, so they do handle in certain ways pretty good. You do feel like you're going to go around a corner nice and flat, not a lot of movement that way, but you also have a lot more weight to go around too. Now with that said, as you saw, the acceleration is incredible. incredible. One of the things with electric vehicles, unlike a gas where you have to really build up those RPMs, or if it's a turbo, the turbines and everything, and then send all that power through all the different drive pieces. So by the time it actually gets to the wheels, it does take a little bit of time, even in super fast sporty cars. Whereas the electric cars, it's almost like the toys that we had as kids. Like, you hit the button and you go. It's instant torque. That's your low end power. Horsepower is for the high end. So it's really a nice range that way. It's a little bit of a different driving experience. Now the braking similarly as well. This does have Brembo sometimes. You know, you don't necessarily see that on the electric vehicles, which is really, really cool. And they do. They work really, really well. They're smooth. They grip well. But unfortunately, cars like this, they're a little bit numb, similar to my car, and that's part of the German experience. This is Italian, but with the Germans, yeah, they aren't good with accents. Anyway, I'm not. So the point is, if I've offended anybody, I'm genuinely sorry. So, you know, in all honesty, one of the things with that is with the braking, and I'm going to show you right here, is really, really capable. Try not to have everything end up in the front here with me. But it's kind of dead. Very similar to my car and most Germans, because they want to be on the Autobahn, you want to be on those fast roads, and you want a really capable car, but you want to be isolated, and that's what you get in something like the Maserati here. So it is very sporty, feels extremely capable with acceleration, braking, and cornering and everything else, but it is also a GT car. It's very isolated and refined that way. So, you know, your inputs, I sit here in the steering wheel is dead set in front of me. I do sit kind of low for this type of vehicle. I've got the seat about as low as you can go. It's kind of like my Golf R. I wish it would go a little bit lower, but for the type of vehicle, it's really, really good. Steering wheel, a little bit numb. I love the look of the steering wheel. Feels amazing. It's a little bit numb, but again, so is my car and most cars nowadays. And one of the cool things when we talk about braking is it has regenerative braking. So what that means is a car like this, or most EVs, they have paddle shifts, not to go up and down the gears, because it has what they call direct drive, or basically just one gear, kind of like a snowmobile or something like that. So these paddles, although they look really cool, are to change the regenerative braking. So basically, I'm going to put it on the strongest one here, and when I let go of the gas pedal, it slows me down as if I'm touching the brake, but I'm not actually. And what it's doing is recouping that power and putting it back into battery, which is pretty nice. So that's one cool thing with electric cars. It's hard to kind of get used to, but once you do, it's a nice feature and really, really convenient. So all in all, I have to say this is a pretty amazing car, which leads me to my final thoughts. All right, so is it worth it? Well, I think that's up to perspective. And what I mean by that is you could probably buy a Kia for a fraction of this price and get all this technology and still be half decent looking. Or even something like the Hyundai Genesis GV70. Also going to be a lot cheaper than this and look the part and have a lot of the technology. And it's even your direct competition like the BMW, the Tesla, and as we saw, the Porsche are all significantly cheaper. But that's not why you're buying this thing. You're buying this thing because you want to be seen and because you want an experience. You want to pay the money to be in something that you enjoy and look forward to getting into. It actually reminds me of a good steak in the sense of you never mind paying for it if it's really, really good. And I'd have to say, if this Maserati was a steak, I don't think you'd be sending it back. So if you like this video, please subscribe and watch one of our other related videos as well, because it actually does help, and we do enjoy doing this, and we do thank you for all the support. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.